Yeah, just excited. Another positive result for us. It was a really good game last Friday, obviously senior night. Having the opportunity to celebrate our seniors and have one with us today in Brody, who's just kind of the exact representation of what you want for a football player in our program. You know, a fantastic player, very talented, but even better off the field. So it was fun for me. It was emotional. We had an emotional day. You know, it was our first time really kind of accepting the fact that the season is flying by. You know, you talked about it, we're 2 games into region, so halfway through, we've kind of broke it down into 4 quarters. So first quarter, second quarter, this week's the third quarter, you know, and in order to win games, you got to play 4 really good quarters. And we'll be challenged this Friday. Excited for the atmosphere on Friday. I think a lot of people are looking forward to the game. Our kids are, and it's been a fun week to prepare for. These are the types of games that, as a coach and as a player, you want to be a part of, and it'll be a really fun atmosphere on Friday night, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
What did this week of preparation look like?
I think that we wanted to take this week of preparation just like we do every week. You know, every week there's changes to the game plan that you have to put in place, and then when you turn on the tape and you look at Woodruff, they're a really good team. They're well coached and they have a lot of great players. So it took our best effort this week in practice. We've still got one more day. We've got a walkthrough coming up this afternoon, which I really enjoy because it challenges your team to care about the details. You know, you're not being physical. You really have to be down into your responsibilities on special teams, the third phase of the game. So we get an opportunity today to finish the week of preparation, and our kids did a really good job. I think it's hard for kids to always be great and to push them to be to that level, and this week was one that we needed to be that way, and we responded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has been really good for us. So proud of their preparation. I think they're ready to go play. I think that they're prepared and equipped with what they need to go out on Friday. But the week of preparation, it doesn't change a whole lot. You know, what we do on Monday as far as what type of periods are on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, it should look the exact same no matter what our opponent is. I mean, we've talked about this week. This is the most important game of our season, and some people would quickly go into probably because you think it's Woodruff and it's a big matchup. For us, it's the biggest game of the season because it's the next one. And next week when we go and play Broome, it needs to be the same type of approach. It's the most important one, and then we'll get into playoffs, and it needs to continue to be that same mindset every week.
Brody, can you talk a little bit about like your role with the team this season and like leadership?
Yeah, really just I always try to be the best that I can at everything I do. And even outside of football, I mean, I try to lead in the classroom. Usually I just lead by example. Like I don't do much, but just try to, you know.
Yeah.
And, I always keep my teammates up. Like obviously I'm not a starter, but I still play an important role to the team. And basically, yeah.
I'll add on to that for Brody. It's been fun for me to see him mature in his leadership role. It's been fun for me to see his personality grow. You know, Brody, I think last year at this time I would have labeled Brody still as shy or at times, but you learn the real Brody, and he's usually the guy in the middle of it. He may not know, but he brings a lot of energy when he is, and just a phenomenal young man. When you talk about, you know, having a spirit at his age and the qualities that he has for someone his age, it's rare. Brody's going to get an opportunity to go play at the next level, and he'll be a blessing to whatever college that is. But he's been a huge asset to why we're successful. Everybody has roles on the team, and you see when he comes in the game, you know, nothing really changes for us. You know, we're just very fortunate to have 2 quarterbacks that can go and win a football game for you. So that's a big blessing that we have, and proud of his growth as a player. He's gotten a lot better as a football player, but to see him grow into a young man, it's been really fun for me to see too.
I know every week we kind of talk about pressure, and every week is like, oh, it's 6-0, 7-0. Like,
Yeah.
So it feels like, do you feel like the pressure grows every week?
I think that, you know, our expectations for our kids grow because I want them to continue to be better. I told them as we left practice yesterday, it's Wednesday, I said Thursday, tomorrow needs to be the best practice we've ever had in MVP history because it's the next one that we get an opportunity to have. We should grow every single week. So I think the pressure, I'll probably put it into a perspective of I just want to continue to see growth. I think one of the best things about coaching at this level is I'll never see the best version of our players. That's not where they're at in their time frame in their life. Athletically, I don't see it. There's always room for them to grow. I think about the professional level. At some point, those coaches at that level, they go into a room and they're going to see drop off. They see the maximum potential, and then there's a point in someone's life, athletically at least, that it goes down. In every aspect of their life as a high school coach, we get to grow them every day. We're never going to see the best version of themselves. They're maturing. They've got to go through their life experiences. So it's an opportunity for us every single day to make them better, for me to be better. So the pressure, I think that's just what comes with it now. When you have a successful program, and we're 20 games in now, this will be our 21st game. We kind of know who we are now. We've set an identity, and I think we expect to win when we take the football field, and that's where we're at. So it eases up a little bit. I think last year some of those emotions were probably a little bit heavier just because there were so many unknowns, unknown as players, as coaches. For me in my role as a head coach, how do you respond? How do you go through certain situations? But I think we're more comfortable in that role this year. We understand that when we go and play, we have to own that people are excited to play us. They want to beat us. I don't think it's necessarily because of the structure of our school and who we are. You see this all over the country. There's a lot of big games in high school football this Friday. For whatever reason, it could be rivalries, winning teams against each other, region championships on the line. We're just blessed to be a part of that in a big game and have the opportunity to be a part of that on Friday.
Brody, can you talk about your growth over the last year and a half?
Yeah, honestly, as a player, I've just learned more. I've learned a lot from Coach Ramsey. He's really taught me a lot about the game. And I came from Blue Ridge, so honestly, I really didn't know much. But I learned so much through him. And as a player, I came to MVP. We learned, he talks about a standard all the time. And honestly, the standard isn't really just about sports standards and all that. It's really throughout life. And I've learned a lot.
All right. Got it. Y'all's turn. Come on, John, you got a question?
Yeah. So what's the goal for the game against Woodruff?
I think the first one is we want to win. That's a good question. I think there's a lot of goals that we have. There's been a lot of talk about our game this week, rightfully so. What an opportunity to go and play a really well-coached football team and to be on the road and to try to go and play. And because of the outcome of last year and how exciting the game was, I think this game has become a big local game. We're the WSBA game of the week, and interviews are more prevalent this week for me in different places, and people are excited. At the end of the day, we try to keep things into perspective. I definitely want to win the game. I think anybody in our players that are around me, I'm a really big competitor, and I like to transition that into our guys, that I want them to compete. My biggest pet peeve that we have in our program is when our kids don't compete, and typically that's not them bothering me on the field. That's when I can't get them to compete in other areas of their life outside of football. So I want them to compete, and then regardless, if we win Friday, that is our most important goal. We want to win in anything that we do. So this is a game that I want them to go out and compete. But at the end of the day, it's still a regular season game. We still have a lot left to play for. If we go and get the result that I think we can get on Friday, and if that's a win, we don't really get anything for it. Our ultimate goal for what we want to do is still ahead of us, and that's not going to be changed based on the outcome of the game. So my goal is, yes, we want to win. I think we have to put that at the forefront. That's important for our kids to have that mindset. But I want to see us grow. I want to see us do things the right way. I want our bus ride to be better this week. I want how we warm up to be better. I want everything that we do, how we get the water bottles off the bus, anything and everything that we do, I want to take a step forward this week. So, John, that was good for me. I think sometimes it gets lost. Hey, they just want to win. No, I want to see us do things that in November pays dividends in the real season, and that's when you have to win. Because if you don't, you know your season's over.
Who or what inspires you to continue playing?
Definitely my mother. She's gone through some stuff this year, and she hasn't really been able to come to most of the games. So honestly, everything I do is for her. But she was able to come to senior night, and that was a big encouragement for me in my life. And no matter what, since birth, she's been at everything, and she's always been there for me. So I try to give back to her as much as I can.
Would you consider Woodruff a rival?
I say this all the time. It's kind of been surprising to me. I grew up in this area. So a lot of natural rivalries amongst teams, and I feel like it's taken us now, I guess, August, September, October. We've been open for school started 14 months, and it seems like we've become a rival for a lot of people in a quick amount of time. Some of those traditional rivalries that I was used to growing up, they don't seem like as big of games anymore compared to our games. And I get the background behind it and why people want to play us and where they want to go. So I guess, typically I think that you need some time to establish rivalries. You look across college and professional landscapes, it typically takes a long time. But I hope that if we continue to do what we're supposed to do here at this program and we continue to have success, that when people play us, they're excited. And I think that does lead to rivalries. We're in Spartanburg County. Football means a lot to people. And Friday nights and the success that it has. So I think so. I think that it's an important game for them. We're their homecoming game, and it'll be. They're known for their tradition. They are a school and a community that loves football, and rightfully so because of how successful they've been. So hopefully we get to that point one day. I hope that we get to look back, and whoever's sitting in this chair 50 years from now and in press conferences and what that looks like talks about what we were able to do and the success that we had for the foundation of this program, and that we continue to be a team that people want to have rivalries with. That's what high school sports is all about.
Brody, do you feel like the rivalry affects you when you go into the game?
Not at all. I'm used to the stuff they did. Like we all saw the social media posts of them burning the star. But honestly, all these schools that I've been to, like Greer for the last 70 years, whatever, they always burned a Blue Ridge Tiger. So honestly, as far as the atmosphere and pressure and stuff, it doesn't affect me.
All right, everybody always asks this question, so I guess I'll be the one to do it today. Pre-game ritual. Tell us about it.
I usually walk down to the 20-yard line. I listen to country music, and I'll just toss with my friends. Some old 90s country.
There we go. I like that one.
Okay. Anything else we left out that y'all want to mention?
I will suggest to people that are watching, I think that it's going to be a game that a lot of people want to be at. Get your tickets now. You don't want to, that's students, parents, fans, staff, whoever. You want to get in. You don't want to show up on Friday night and you're not able to get in. So tickets are online and posted for us on our website and different messages. So if you want to, go ahead and grab your ticket so that you don't get there and get an opportunity. It's going to be a great football game. I'm excited for the challenge for our kids. I'm excited to watch them play. They deserve and have earned the opportunity to play in big games like this, and it's going to be really fun. I think back to some of the greatest memories that I have as a high schooler, and it happened in that stadium. And it'll be fun, and I'm excited to see our team take that next step. I think it's a challenge for us, a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. I've seen a lot of comments that startup program, I don't know how they'll handle things and this and that. I believe in our kids. I believe in who they are. I believe in the character of who they are, and being able to represent our school. So just looking forward to the opportunity to go and play, and really proud of these guys for who they are and how they've handled things this week and in previous weeks. So just another opportunity for us to show who we are and what our football team's all about.